Wow, that was quick. Just popped right back in there. I didn't have a count or anything. But anyway, welcome back to Pewter Power. I'm Mike Dean. He's Joe Bell.
Just roll right into it. Just roll right in.
They're kicking us out right now. Here we go.
He's in a hurry today.
I know. Well, that's fine. We're okay.
It is what it is.
We know football. We know what it is.
So.
Exactly. So.
All right. So we are playing the New York Football Giants, who lost last Wednesday night on the season opener at home to the Dallas Cowboys. First time in 9 years, defending Super Bowl champions lost at home in that first game of the season.
Very first game, yep. Now, it's going to be difficult, us going to New York. I mean, we're just traveling to it. Schiano's, that's where he's from, though, so he's familiar with that. So I'm sure he's gotten some insights into what we're doing up there. But New York Football Giants, okay, Super Bowl winners, didn't look bad in the first game against Dallas, but we'll see what happens.
Good.
Right, Dallas looked
Which
really
is unfortunate that we're playing Dallas next week.
Exactly, back to back. But let's go ahead, and you got the keys to the game.
Let's start putting those up one at a time here. I think she's going to get them across the bottom. Key to the game, survive the early pass rush. We know that the New York Football Giants are the best pass rushing, sacking team in the NFL, bar none. They are. There's no question. They have the players to do that. That's going to be the hardest thing for Tampa early because they are going to blitz the crap out of Josh Freeman and see if they can get in his head early.
But that bodes well for number two, which is what your key is, because that turns into this.
Number two is to establish the running game. You know, you're going to have to do some trap plays. We're going to have to do a couple screen passes with Doug Martin. Doug Martin is the key to them slowing down that pass rush. If he doesn't have a good game, they're going to pin their ears back and just beat on Josh Freeman the entire game.
Let me tell you, if you establish that running game with Martin and you start pounding that and you start flowing some flare passes, the play that they ran was an offside trap with the tight end flaring out to the one side, which was Dallas Clark, and made a great catch for a first down. That was a play that we would have not seen last year because there was no running game to be said. Now there's a running game.
And we have to remember, we have coaches that all coach for the New York Giants in the last couple years. So they know who they're playing against.
Right.
They know their strengths and weaknesses. So they're going to do everything they can to game plan themselves in the best possible way against the great defense that the Giants have. Because the Giants win on defense and on receivers.
Right.
That's where their game is at. Long passes and sacking the quarterback is how they win.
All right, let's go to number three.
Number three.
Speaking of sacking the quarterback.
Get to Eli Manning.
There you go.
You know, we all know, and we've seen it in other games with Eli, if you put him on the ground, he starts to get a little nervous and makes a few bad throws. We've got to find a way to put some pressure on him. You want out of the pocket because he can't run.
No.
So you want to get him out of the pocket as often as you can. Don't let him stand back there, and don't give him time because he will pick you apart. And Nix will have a huge, huge game, and so will some of and Cruz. Both will have a big game if he has the opportunity to stand.
So we're going to see a little more pass rush up the middle versus the standalone where the McCoy was just kind of shadowing them. You'll see it more up the middle to force him outside the pocket and get some of that speed coming inside.
Last week they had a spy for Cam Newton.
Exactly.
They don't need a spy for Eli Manning. All of the linebackers for Tampa are extremely fast, and they can outrun Eli Manning. So that's not going to be a big problem. Last week they did spy specifically Cam Newton to find a way to keep him from getting too far down the field. I added a fourth one this week. I normally only do three, but I added a fourth. And my fourth one this week is to play physical smash mouth football. You are playing a team that will punch you in the mouth right off the bat. So you have to give it right back. This is a game.
That's a flag, you know.
I don't care. This is a game where Mark Barron, Levante David, Gerald McCoy, all these players, Doug Martin, hit him, push him down the field, carry him, whatever you got to do. Take the hit.
Let me ask you something here. The one question I have, is New York's coming off a loss to them. Do they now? I mean, Schiano is brand new in the league. You know, Sheridan they know from an offensive standpoint. So defensively they're looking at it. But what are they going to do offensively? You think to maybe slow down their pass rush? Our pass rush, I should say, sorry.
Our pass rush, they're going to do a lot of those screen passes as well because they're a good screen pass team. So they're going to find a way to get that ball to the outside. Our linebackers are going to be the most important part of the defense for Tampa this week as far as I'm concerned. We need the pass rush, but we also need them to stay in their spots. Don't move out of where they belong. Make sure you do your assignment and be ready for that little pass to the outside because there's going to be a lot of that if they start getting pressure.
Yeah, filling the gap and I think is going to be the key. Also, again, getting the press, what Joe says, putting pass rush pressure up the middle and then forcing Eli to move within the pocket or outside the pocket to give him a harder throw, let's put it that way. And that's where our defensive backfield comes in. I got to say one thing, too. Aqib Talib, didn't say anything about him this week, but really
He had a great game.
He had a good game because nobody threw to him. I mean, there was a couple of things. Steve Smith had a couple of good catches. He's going to get his yards.
And most of those were across the middle after
exactly.
they had a ton of time
exactly.
to throw the ball because we weren't getting any pressure in the second half.
Right. So I think,
and that's where Mark Barron put the shot on Steve Smith. Now he jumped up, but he jumped up because he didn't want anybody to think he got hurt.
Yeah.
Because it had to hurt.
Oh, it did.
He did not move an inch forward. He was running full speed. Mark Barron turned around and laid him out.
Yeah, he wagged his finger like it didn't happen, but it happened. But it happened.
We saw every bit of it.
Okay, one of the things that we're looking at from an offensive standpoint that we want to try to improve on from this game, from the Carolina game, what do you think we need to do?
Pass better. Well, actually, not pass better. Actually, Josh Freeman threw the ball very well. Catch every pass that's thrown your way. Yeah. Vincent Jackson missed 2 easy first downs. Now, he had somebody on him, but he makes $55 million a year, and that's what he's good at. So he needs to make those
But do you
plays.
think that was the first game, or I mean, he's a professional, but
I'm a Vincent Jackson fan. I think he's a big help to this football team. I think he's going to be the most important thing that happens to them. Them being successful all year is how much better he plays as the year goes along, because he had a 40-plus yard, pass that got called back, which had nothing to do with the play whatsoever. That holding call had nothing to do with it. It was outside of any of the play at all. Mm-hmm. But he's going to be a big part. He gets the ball when it's 3rd and long.
So, yeah, he's going to definitely be the go-to guy.
They automatically were throwing to him. So he just got to make, if he makes one of those 2 catches, another drive goes all the way, and they score again. So a big change there.
One of the things we did see against Vincent Jackson, too, is that we're going to have double-team coverage on him. That means Williams is going to be free, which we did see in the first game.
Early on, he got a touchdown, but then he kind of shut him down a little bit. He doesn't run great routes. And Mike Williams used to run great routes, and it kind of went away. He's got to get back into that again.
Let me tell you, one of the key things I see for this game coming up is Dallas Clark, okay? From a
standpoint of
one or two catches. They're going to start using him a little bit more in the step back, in the flares, and the screens. And I see you're going to use him. He's a good runner after the ball, too. So we'll see what happens after that. But we're going to come back.
Around the NFL.
Fantasy football. And our bonehead.
It's a funny one, actually.
Is it?
Yeah, he didn't do anything really wrong other than it's just funny.
Well, you can't call him a bonehead. He's just funny.
It was a bonehead.
Okay,
he was still a bonehead.
It was a bonehead.
It'd have been a bonehead worse if he'd got hurt. So.
Okay, we'll be right back. Stay tuned.